Assembling the network. Hello. In this video you will learn how to assemble and install the RS-485 network for the controllers of full gauge controls to communicate with Sitrad Pro. The RS-485 network is a method of transmission of standard signal devices that define how the two of them will communicate physically. In our case, this network is responsible for the communication between the controller and the converter. If you want to watch a previous video about Sitrad Pro or more advanced, take a look at our channel and stay tuned to other videos on the system. The network structure. To build your communication network, you will need at least a controller with connection to Sitrad Pro, a full gauge controls converter, and a connection block that can be purchased separately. To see the full list of controllers with connection to Sitrad Pro and the converters available, please visit the website sitrad.com. For network structure, you will still need a 24 AWG two-way wire, equivalent to 0.05 millimeters in diameter, of different colors to identify the terminals. And we strongly recommend, although not required, a resistor of 120 ohms that can be found at any electronic store or purchased on the internet for a few cents. This resistor will ensure the quality of the communication in the installation. Dimensions and best practices. Before tightening any screw, we must bear in mind the distance and the path of the cables. Ensure that the distance between the converter and the last controller does not exceed 1,000 meters. Avoid the distance between the connection block and the controller being greater than 2 meters. And, if you have more than one controller, use a block for each. Choose cables with mesh to prevent interference. Regarding standard international norms, the communication cables should be at least 10 centimeters away from power cables. This recommendation is because of the electromagnetic field of the alternating current that also applies to the sensors that must stay away from the alternating current cables. Remember that the RS-485 network supports a maximum of 32 instruments. To add more instruments, we recommend the use of more than one converter. For Sitrad Pro, there are no limits of converters and instruments, but this will depend on the processing capacity of your computer. If you are using CON32 and more than 32 instruments, ensure that CON32 is from version 3 upwards, because the previous ones do not allow more than one on the same computer. Installing the cables. Now that we have the whole project designed and projected to be robust and secure, we will install the physical network. Establish a color for terminal A and another color for terminal B. Then, we must connect A to A and B to B. The mesh of the cable should be connected to the ground wire of the RS-485 only if you have a separate ground wire for communication. Never connect the communication ground wire to the alternated current network ground wire. If you do not have this separate structure, ignore this terminal. Note the different sizes of terminals of the controller to use the suitable screwdrivers to tighten the screws. And, at the end of the last connection block where there will be a spare pair of terminals A and B, install the 120 ohm resistor we commented on at the beginning of the video to ensure that the network is complete. Now that you know how to install the network, see more videos about Sitrad Pro on our channel, and sign up to be well informed of our content and live stream videos.